Okay, so in this class we will see argument of a complex number, or this only argument only we can call amplitude. Amplitude. Okay, this amplitude of z, we can represent this one arg z, or we can represent this only amplitude of z. Amplitude of z like this only, but we mostly write arg z only. So what is the definition of this? Simply, if at all we have to say the definition, let's say z is a complex number a comma b. Okay, z is a complex number a comma b. Let's say z is a complex number which is a comma b. Here is this. So then now here o, this o is origin and z is here. Oz, if at all oz makes an angle theta with positive direction of x-axis measured in anti-clockwise direction, then that theta is called argument. Very simple definition, I think you understand. So what I told, now let's say p is here, p, x comma y is here. That is a complex number. This is a complex number, p, x comma y is there. So then the angle made by OP with positive direction of x-axis, measured in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, you may say, then what about if I measure in clockwise direction? So if you measure, I am mentioning measure in anti-clockwise direction. That means if you measure in clockwise direction, you will get negative. So this is also argument only. That's also argument, but if I mention it is positive direction of x-axis, clockwise, anti-clockwise direction of x-axis means it is positive. So that is as simple as that. So, but another way you can say is every complex number a plus ib or x plus iy. Every complex number x plus iy can be expressed as modulus of z. Okay, this z is let's say z is x plus iy, then modulus of z into cos theta plus I sin theta form. We can express this one. Okay, this mod z we write now, simple way is r. So here x plus iy equal to, we write, we can always represent like this, r into cos theta plus r sin theta. This is always possible. So then what we say, theta satisfying, if at all you equate theta satisfying what theta satisfying cos theta equal to x by r and sin theta equal to y by r is called argument of z. See, I told you a definition. Theta satisfying cos theta equal to x by r, sin theta equal to y by r. What is that r? Under root of x square plus y square. So this is what is called argument of z. So you may say now, here this is trigonometric equations. Sin theta and cos theta both. Sin theta equal to x by r, cos theta equal to x by r, sin theta equal to y by r. This both equations should be satisfied. Then you may say, what is that? Automatically this means tan theta equal to y by r by x by r, y by x, theta equal to tan inverse y by x. Can we write like this? You may say this. Okay. So this is a theta satisfying cos theta equal to x by r, sin theta equal to y by r. Okay, this is actually this theta is called argument. But if this theta can be, now for example, if I take this one, let's say then z equal to, if I take root 3 minus I, if I take this one. So what I told is tan theta equal tan inverse y by x. This you cannot write because here is a problem actually. So I'll tell you what is the problem. So here z equal to 3 minus I. So root 3 minus I wrote. So here that means automatically cos theta becomes x by r. That means root 3 by r is under root of x square y square, that is 2. Sin theta equal to what? Minus 1 by 2. So now cos theta is root 3 by 2, sin theta is minus 1 by 2. So theta is which quadrant? Cos is positive, sin is negative. Which quadrant? So automatically theta belongs to Q4, fourth quadrant. Theta is in fourth quadrant. So that means automatically theta equal to what you write fourth quadrant. Either you write minus pi by 6, right? Minus pi by 6, or you can write 2 pi minus pi by 6. 2 pi minus pi by 6 also, cos of 2 pi minus 30 is cos 30. Sin of 2 pi minus 30 is minus sin 30. That also you can write. So that means theta equal to, now, so that is theta equal to minus 1 by 6, pi by 6 we got, or 2 pi minus pi by 6 we got. So this is what is the argument. Now, now I'll take another one. So what I have taken, z equal to root 3 minus I have taken. Now I'll take, let's take z equal to, let's say this is z1. Let's take z2 as, so minus root 3 plus I. Minus root 3 plus I. So here what will happen now, if you want argument, then cos theta equal to what you get is minus root 3 by 2, and sin theta equal to what you get is 1 by 2. Okay, now theta satisfying this. That means cos is negative, sin is positive. That means theta belongs to which quadrant? Cos negative, sin positive, cube. Second quadrant. That means theta equal to what now? Pi minus pi by 6. So pi minus pi by 6. This is what is theta. Pi minus pi by 6. Cos of pi minus pi by 6 minus cos pi by 6, that is minus root 3 by 2. Sin of pi minus pi by 6 is sin pi by 6, that's 1 by 2. So therefore here what you can say here is okay, this is theta equal to 5 pi by 6. So what you can say here, so here argument, already argument of z1 we have seen, argument of z1 we got is minus pi by 6 we got, or 2 pi minus pi by 6. Okay, that's completely different from this. So therefore, but if at all you see na, argument of z, if you write na, tan inverse y by x, y by x means minus 1 by root 3 here also, and here also tan inverse y by x means what? 1 by minus root 3. Both are same only. This and this becomes same. Here also you get, so this is you get what? This is, yeah, pi minus pi by 6 you may get. Okay, second quadrant or fourth quadrant, both you can take. Second quadrant or fourth quadrant, both you take. So that is a defect there. Therefore, you cannot use that formula. Which formula? Tan inverse of y by x you cannot use all the time. So okay, anyway. So now, so finally, conclusion is you can give definition two ways. One is the angle made by OZ. The angle made by OZ with positive direction of x-axis measured in anti-clockwise direction is called argument. Okay, that is one definition. Another definition is theta satisfying cos theta equal to x by r, sin theta equal to y by r is called argument of z. That also you can say. Okay, right. So here, of course, here if argument, okay, now let's take this one, principal argument. We'll discuss about principal argument. Okay, if at all this theta, if you take between minus pi to pi closed, minus pi to pi closed. Okay, if you take theta belongs to minus pi to pi closed, what we say then? Theta is called principal argument. Then theta is called principal argument. Understand? Principal argument. Theta is called principal argument. If at all this comes, that means what? Actually here theta is 0 to pi. See, 0 to pi. That means if it is in the negative x-axis, if it is negative x-axis, it's pi. Negative x-axis means it's pi. Positive x-axis means what? It's 0. Okay, if that means argument of a real number 1 is 0, argument of real number 2 is 0, argument of real number 3 is 0. Okay, so therefore here argument of minus 1 is pi, minus 2 is pi, minus 3 is pi, like that. So now here 0 to minus pi. Minus pi we don't include. Why? Because already pi we are including. Okay, when we are including pi, we need not include minus pi. So therefore principal argument is minus pi to pi. That's what is a principal argument. Now we'll take if a complex number is, now if a complex number is, any complex number is given, that must be either in the first quadrant or second or third or fourth quadrant, or it must be on x-axis or y-axis. That means real axis or imaginary axis. Okay, anything it can be. Okay, now, so here, principal argument. Let's take now principal argument. That is alpha equal to, this is, yeah. Okay, now here, principal argument, I am talking about principal argument. So, all right, so now here, principal argument, if at all you take now in the first quadrant. So, first quadrant, if it is theta, okay, so then I'm writing theta as like this. See, tan inverse of, this is mod y by x, I'm writing mod y by x, I'm writing. So theta I'm writing like that. If you take theta as tan inverse y by mod y by x, then here argument of, okay, okay, well, let's say argument only theta, whatever. If argument only, if you take theta, and this if you take alpha, alpha I am taking as, alpha I am taking as tan inverse mod y by x, then argument, let's say theta is the argument, theta equal to alpha in the first quadrant. Okay, so second quadrant, pi minus alpha. Please understand, third quadrant, minus pi plus alpha, fourth quadrant, minus alpha. Okay, this is a tan inverse mod y by x is what is alpha I am taking. Okay, please understand this one properly. That means if it is, if theta belongs to first quadrant, and of course here x is positive, y is also positive. Therefore, if at all theta belongs to Q1, then theta argument of z, theta is nothing but argument of z is nothing but I am taking theta. If this theta is in the first quadrant, so argument you can simply write tan inverse of y by x. So that means if you write tan inverse y by x, when is it possible? This is when it is in the first quadrant, you can simply write tan inverse y by x, because y is positive, x is positive, you can write y by x. So that is in the first quadrant. If theta is in the first quadrant, Q1, then you can write argument of z equal to, that is tan inverse of y by x, you can write, no problem. But if theta is in the second quadrant, Q2, then what you should do? Argument of z is nothing but pi minus tan inverse of, here already pi I have taken, that means second quadrant already I considered. But here second quadrant means what? X is negative, y is positive. Therefore, mod x by y you can write mod x by y, because x is negative, so mod x by y. Or if you want, you can write like this also, pi minus tan inverse of x is negative, therefore minus x by y. So minus x becomes here positive. So that is in the second quadrant. If theta belongs to Q3, then what will happen then? Argument of z becomes what then? So here what I wrote is simply like this. I am giving example. Let's say this is 30 degrees. This is 30 degrees. Okay. Now let's say this is 90 degrees. 90 plus 30, this whole becomes what? 120 degrees. Same, if I write in this direction, same, this 120 becomes minus 120 degrees. Please understand. Therefore, if this is 120, then here it will become what? Minus 120. Okay? Please understand that. So therefore, here, if this is theta, then this becomes what? If this is alpha, this becomes minus alpha. Okay? So if this is 120, this becomes minus 120. So if this is pi minus alpha, this is what? Minus of pi minus alpha, that is only minus pi plus alpha is what I wrote. So that's what. Now third quadrant, what I should write? Minus pi plus alpha. What is that? Tan inverse of mod y by x. If you want to write minus pi plus tan inverse of, what you write here? Minus y by minus x. So y by x only. That is simply y by x only, because both are negative. So y by x only. So that's what. So minus pi plus you should write like this. Then if theta is in the fourth quadrant, simply you should write fourth quadrant. Theta belongs to Q4. Simply you should write like this. Argument of z becomes what? Is minus of tan inverse of mod y by x. But if you want, then you can also write here mod. Your y is what? Y is negative. So minus y by x. You can write like this also. So this is in the first, second, third, fourth quadrant. I very clearly explained. So that means what? Here we don't take whether positive or negative. So we take mod. So for example, already I gave example. No? For example, so here let's say you have to find out the argument for this one. So -1 minus I argument you have to find out for this one. So what I am saying, first you have to see which quadrant. Third quadrant. Third quadrant means what? You should do minus pi plus tan inverse of y by x. You need not take now sign because are both mod. No? Mod means you need not take sign. So then that means what will happen now? Tan inverse of 1 by 1. So 1, that is what? Minus pi plus pi by 4 is what is your answer, like that I am saying. Okay. Third quadrant. For example, if it is now, so z equal to, let's say this is 1 minus I root 3. Let's say 1 minus I root 3. Which quadrant? X is positive, y is negative. Now x is positive, y is negative. So that means z belongs to fourth quadrant. So immediately you take argument of z. Directly you can write argument of z is what? Minus of tan inverse of y by x, that is root 3 by 1. Here minus I am not taking because already I have taken. So root 3 by 1. Mod, no, I would take mod. That's the reason it is root. So that is minus pi by 3. Okay. All right. So that is about the principal argument. Okay. Number 1, note here. Note. What is that? Number 1 is if theta is principal argument, please understand, if theta is principal argument or if theta is any argument, okay, principal argument of z, then theta plus 2k pi is it's a general argument. It's general argument. Please understand this. That means not only that, you can write like this also. If theta is any argument, okay, then what you can say, then theta plus 2k pi is also argument. If theta is argument, theta plus 2k pi is argument. You know the reason. When you rotate 2 pi radians 360 degrees, you will come to the same place. So therefore, theta is argument, then theta plus 2k pi is also an argument. So that is what is general argument. This is what is general argument is what. But if theta is principal argument, then theta plus 2k pi is going to be general argument. If theta is only general argument, then theta plus 2k pi also becomes general argument. So how do you recognize principal argument? Okay, here if it is in the interval minus pi to pi, then minus pi to pi, then it's called if it is in the interval minus pi to pi, then only it is principal argument. Otherwise, general argument. Okay, so okay, this formula is for principal argument. Please understand, this formula is for principal argument. Okay, this formula is for principal argument. All right, so generally in the third quadrant, now for example, here we have discussed, here example 1 we have discussed. In the third quadrant, generally what we take in the third quadrant? In the third quadrant, we take pi plus theta, we take pi plus here tan inverse 1. That is pi plus pi by 4 we can take. Pi plus pi by 4 we can take. Okay, this is in the third quadrant actually. Pi plus pi by 4 is the third quadrant. This also third quadrant, this also third quadrant. Please understand. So third quadrant means what? Example, no? In example, what is that? Z equal to -1 minus I. Na? So argument of Z, you can write like this also. What is that argument? I wrote minus pi plus theta. No? Third quadrant minus pi plus theta. What is that theta? Pi by 4. That is what is minus 3 pi by 4. You can write like this. Or our argument of Z equal to also we know, like pi plus pi by 4, we know pi plus pi by 4. What is that? Pi of pi by 4. Pi of pi by 4. Okay, but what I am saying is, if this is general argument, I can add 2 pi. If I add 2 pi, what I am going to get? I am going to get this one. Pi by 4, I am going to get this general argument I am going to get. Okay, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, 2k pi, if I add 2k pi. Okay, for this also, if I add here minus 2 pi, if I add, I am going to get this one. I'm going to get, if I add minus 2 pi, 2k pi means what? 2k pi means what? So multiples of 2 pi, that is 0 into 2 pi or 1 into 2 pi or 2 into 2 pi or minus 1 into 2 pi minus 2 into 2 pi also you can do. So therefore here, that is what is the principal argument and general argument. You will get same. Okay, all right. That means if you have general argument, you can bring it to principal argument. This is general argument. Na? So 5 pi by 4 is a general argument. You know this is more than pi. 5 pi by 4. Pi plus pi by 4. So this is general argument, you know. So how to bring principal argument? So minus 2 pi, because it is more than pi, you have to bring less than pi. Therefore, you have to add minus 2 pi, you have to add. Okay, this is, okay, this is number 1, note 1. That is next, note 2. Who is this one? In polar form, what is that in polar form? In polar form, what is that in polar form? What is that polar form? Z equal to x plus iy. This always you can express in this form. R into cos theta plus I sin theta. Always you can express this form. So in this polar form, theta must be in polar form. Theta must be in the interval minus pi to pi. That means what? In polar form, theta must be principal argument. Principal argument, that's the important one. Okay. So the next, if here important point now, if z is a complex number, if z is purely real, then that means argument of z. What is this argument of z then? Is 0. Why purely real means? Purely real. 0 or pi. Purely real means what? It is on x-axis. Purely real means what? It's on x-axis. Please understand, this is 1 is a complex number. 1 is 1 comma 0. 2 means 2 comma 0. Imaginary part is 0. So now purely real, that means here two cases. Case 1, if z is greater than 0, if z is greater than 0, that means what? Positive real number. If z is greater than 0, then argument of z becomes what? Is 0. Second, if z is less than 0, that means negative real number. Z is greater than 0 means positive real number. Because every real number is also complex number. No, complex number means, you know, what is this complex number? So real and non-real. Real and non-real together. Non-real means imaginary. Real and imaginary together is called complex number. That complex number means it is real numbers also. All real numbers are complex numbers. Here, if it is purely real, okay, imaginary part is 0, purely real, then argument must be either 0 or pi. When is this 0? 0 when it is on positive x-axis. When is this pi? When it is in the negative x-axis. When it is negative x. That's what I do. When z is greater than 0, then argument of z is 0. That means what? You know, what does it mean? Z is greater than 0 means what? That is positive real number, you can say. Positive real number. Z is greater than 0 means positive real number. Okay. Okay. So z is less than 0, then what will happen? Then argument of z is what? Is pi. If z is greater than 0, then argument of z is 0. If z is less than 0, then argument of z is pi. Next. That means if it is in the next, if z is purely imaginary, if it is purely imaginary, that means z will be on imaginary axis. Imaginary axis or y-axis. So therefore, z is purely imaginary. Then what will happen then? Argument of z must be equal to plus or minus pi by 2. Argument of z must be equal to plus or minus pi by 2. Okay, so that means here in this again two cases. What is that? If it is purely imaginary and if it is on the positive axis, then it is plus pi by 2. Okay, here two cases. What are the two cases? if z is or yeah, if imaginary part of z is greater than 0 and real part of z is equal to 0, then what will happen? Augment of z is pi by 2. Okay, imaginary part of z is positive and real part of z is 0. That is purely imaginary having positive imaginary part pi by 2. Then otherwise it is minus pi by 2.